Hello and welcome to another edition of A Better Life. I'm Dr. Lucas Fry, and with me, of course, is our panelist for the day, Mr. Hank Hennigan. Welcome to the show, Hank.
Well, hello, Doc. Nice to be here.
Good for you to join us. We're
Yes.
going to be talking about a lot of things today. A lot of people have been calling my office and asking, are you all doing the bicycle thing again this year? We're going to have details about that and show you some pictures from last year's promotion, and we're going to get into that in just a little bit. But we're going to talk about a few other things first, since we've got a nice half-hour show we're going to dedicate about this. Also, I want to tease next week, you'll want to join us. Woody Jenkins is going to be on. We're going to talk about politics in depth in the Baton Rouge area and what political race is unfolding and what's going on the Republican side of things and the election being over. But right now, happy Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving week, and we hope that the newly elected governor is going to lead us well into this future. So let's talk a little bit about politics and what's going on in the world. We have seen so much crisis here lately,
Yes.
and just so much pain, and everybody is just, I'm just kind of dumbfounded with what's going on around the world. Hank, how is you of course are an associate pastor here at Bethany Church. What do you see the church's role in helping people deal with these crises that seem so far away, but really they're not far away at all?
No, that they're not far away from a standpoint of, you think in the Middle East, well, stabbings are taking place on universities and in our nation, and that's not even counting what's just transpired since 9/11. But as pastors do, just speak the truth, speak it in love, and just put the focus and attention on your family, taking care of your family and your needs, just being a good person of character and integrity, and putting God first. And that's what it's all about. And if you do that as a husband or as a spouse or dad or father, grandfather, or young person or mom, that's what it's all about right now is family. And so many times the world has this change, this God, Christ, you, your family, and then your vocation, and the world flips it.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm not right, nothing below me is going to be right. My family's not going to be right. My vocation's not going to be right. And Pastor Larry taught us that many, many years ago. You got to stay right, and then everything below you in your relationship with the Lord and relationship in your community. And just, I like what Winston Churchill said as well. We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give. And if we live as givers, and then as Pastor Jonathan just preached, the signs of the times, let that take care of themselves. But just keep loving your family, loving your community, giving to your family, giving to your community, giving to your church, wherever church may be here in the Baton Rouge area. That's what it's all about.
Hagee and other pastors preached the end of times for many, many years.
Yes.
And it's amazing how now a lot of the stuff that they were teaching 15 years ago, 10 years ago, every preacher seems to be talking about now.
Exactly. Well, it's so prevalent now on the news. You could stop at a stoplight driving and something comes up on your phone, something that happened around the world. Used to, you have to wait till you go home tonight and listen to the 6 o'clock or 10 o'clock news or read the newspaper. But it's instant.
Instant, yes, it is.
Instant.
Yep. As a businessman, or shall I say, a leader of our businessman group.
Yes.
You deal a lot with the young men in this
Mm-hmm.
area. What have you seen as far as a change in the young men in our area in the last 5-10 years?
I would have to say the last 7 to 8 years, I have been mentoring young men without a dad. And that's probably one of the biggest things that we as pastors and the community is facing. We have a large church here at Bethany and a lot of large families and families with mom and dads in it. But if you get outside the church into the community, Doc, then you're dealing with with broken homes, broken marriages, broken relationships, and it all comes back to the family, being as one, getting up, going to church together, having dinner together around the dinner table, praying, and you know, dad and mom disciplining the children.
Working through life together.
Yes.
Talking
yes.
it out and having those conversations like we
Yes.
used to have.
Exactly.
You know, the dinner table seems to disappear from a lot of homes.
Well, I mean, it's you know, it's the fast food mentality. Order it in the front, get it in the back, and eat on the way home or whatever. And
On
that's
the way to soccer game or whatever.
exactly, exactly.
We have so much to do that it's occupying the time of the family anymore. I mean, you hardly ever see a family having just a picnic in a park. I
That's
mean,
right.
It's so rare. It's either somebody's 100th birthday or whatever in order to get everybody together.
Exactly.
We've seen a real shift in family value there.
And you know, with Thanksgiving coming up this week, and you know, it's you know, we want to get back to that tradition of family around the table. You know, your siblings, your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your parents, your grandparents, your family. That's what it's all about.
The men's luncheon that you have so much to do with it, it's still on Wednesdays.
Every Wednesday, 12 o'clock at our South Campus.
Free meal.
Free meal. We've been meeting for about 14 years. We don't really advertise it. It's a lot of word of mouth. And you know, 150, 200 men come.
I've met some real nice people there. I mean, it's all walks of life.
Yes.
It's a ditch digger to a CEO.
It's just not like it's just not like a business owner. It's a men's luncheon, and most 80% of men that come do not go to our church, and they sit at tables of 8, and we start at 12. We open in prayer, pledge allegiance. Always have some veteran do that. And then we eat from 12 to 12:20, and then we introduce first-time guests, tell a little Boudreaux joke.
Oh yeah, you got to have Boudreaux jokes in there. When we come back, I'm going to ask you what your most memorable moment is from the men's luncheon.
Sure.
And we're going to be talking about those free bicycles and what's coming up with that. So you'll want to stay tuned. We'll be right back after a word from people who care about our show, our sponsors. Well, the clock is winding down, but we definitely want to talk to you about some exciting things. I'm Dr. Fry. Welcome back to A Better Life. And of course, our show is dedicated to improving your life. So if you'd like to be a guest on our show, of course, just email me at WLFT, and we will get you scheduled. If you do something, or you have a product, or you work in a job that you think improves people's lives, we want to share it with people. So reach out to us, and then maybe we'll have you appear here on the show. But with me today, of course, is Hank Hennigan, and Hank is the associate pastor at Bethany Church, and he heads up the men's luncheon. And they do some special things every year, and they have outreaches and things that they particularly do. But I want to broaden a little bit of that. Let's just talk about Bethany's outreach and what they're doing. Just recently, I know they had a whole lot of volunteers go out around the city and do things. What are some of those outreach programs that are going on with the church and in helping the community?
This year, Pastor Jonathan has called the year of outreach. And outreach is out into the community. And some of the things we have done and do is we reach out to the homeless under the bridges. We feed them meals and help give them clothes. We've done that. Just recently, a week before the public schools started, we had a huge contingent of teams going into the public schools and repainting the parking lots and repainting classrooms as the principals has instructed us and needed us. We had the new superintendent of schools out there helping us paint 2 or 3 schools.
We're seeing a lot of organizations kind of ride that
Yes.
coattail. Have you noticed that?
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
Bethany really got the ball rolling, but now we're seeing more civic groups. I think there's a big sign up right now going on around the city for people that need something done. All the LSU students, I guess, go out and do a day similar
Yes.
to what Bethany did.
Well,
So,
getting back, you make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give, and giving back to the community, the public schools, helping create a better physical environment for the kids as they come back to school, but also some of the outreaches is to the widows of the community, helping them paint their house or do their yards, and we've done that several times over the year, and just gone to the nursing homes and brought them just love and joy and happiness, and sing with them and pray with them. And
I know people sitting at home right now are going, okay, here's a couple of old guys sitting here talking on TV about stuff that they do. But actually, you will have a better life. You will have a much better life if you will get involved either with your church, with a civic organization, something, and go help people. I mean, you would not realize the blessing you will get. I know everybody watching at some time or another has had somebody on the side of the road that just needed $1 and you gave it to them. And you felt a little bit better just by knowing that you helped that person. Maybe it's only $1 and you don't know if they're going to buy a beer or a sandwich, but you don't have any control over what people are going to do. But you gave, and God's keeping count.
that's right.
There ain't no doubt He's keeping count on what you do. But the men's luncheon, you have a lot of different people come here, and I've attended several of them. I've seen veterans honored. I've seen businessmen. I've seen guys that would just come into town that are looking for a job. I mean, don't know anybody. They show up and somebody invite them, and then all of a sudden before they left, they got 3 job offers.
That's exactly right.
What is the most memorable moment that you can remember that just popped to mind that happened one day at the men's luncheon that was a result of somebody coming or being in attendance?
I remember this young man coming in, not really confident in who he was, and being introduced to some men at the table, and we introduced him as a first-time guest. He didn't have a job, and he quickly got a job by some man around the table there. And now, we start at 12, but this young man's been coming faithfully for several years now. And what he does, Doc, he gets there at 11 o'clock, and he takes the name tags and he writes the names of every man that sits at that table and has them in place. Now, he's leading that table in our discussion at the end of every class, at the end of every teaching. So, was it one dramatic moment? No, but it's time and time again where you see these young men come around older men, business leaders, work for businesses. Godly men come from all different walks of life in Baton Rouge, from different churches. We have one table there, sits right there, our pulpit. It's just nothing but Methodist men from this one particular church, and they never miss. And so, and then the table overs, this young man, seeing him grow as a man, as a husband, as a dad, he does not miss. That's what it's all about.
You bet, you bet. So this group has become 8 people that are now the best of friends, where they each know that everybody's going to show up and
Yes.
all going to have something to talk
Yes.
about.
Yes.
And the neat thing is it's when I've been there, everybody's really, really nice as far as welcoming new people in. I don't think anybody comes in and just really falls off to the wayside. So you personally get around and see about everybody.
I want to shake every man's hands that come in. 2 men this past week. One had open heart surgery, and one had knee replacement. When I announced that, who goes to the hospital now and prays with these men? Half the guys in the group.
You bet.
All the guys at their table. And one was emergency and one was planned. But who was there with their wives waiting for them or with them as they entered the surgery and as they came out. The other 7 men at that table.
There you go. We all need someone to talk to. We need to be able to bounce ideas off of people, and this is a great opportunity for young men and to share their vision and what they're trying to accomplish and the problems they've got, and get some feedback from people who have been through similar things.
Well, our business luncheon is for men that just want to, and we look at, Wednesday at 12, it's sort of the hump day of the week,
Yeah, that's true.
and everybody needs a little pickup, a little attaboy, and
Right.
and so they get together and just a time of encouragement. We start at 12, we end at 1. We have to be respectful of a man's time to get back to work or get back to running this business.
It don't drag out. You guys wrap it up
and we
let people
great
get back to
food,
work.
great fellowship, fun, and the word brought forth.
When we come back, we're going to talk about the big bicycle giveaway and how that works, how you can get involved, and maybe you'll feel better about yourself if you do get involved. We'll explain it all to you when we come back to A Better Life. Right now, a word from people who care about our show, the sponsors. We'll be right back. Welcome back to A Better Life. I'm Dr. Fry, and I tell you, it's been an exciting show. But next week's show is even going to be a little more exciting because we got Woody Jenkins coming on. He's going to wrap up the political season for us and everything that's already happened and everybody's all upset and up in arms about, and see what our political future is looking like as far as this presidential race and how it's unfolding. So you'll want to stay tuned for that too. But happy Thanksgiving to everybody. And of course, with me is Hank Hennigan, and he's the associate pastor over at Bethany Church. And we've been talking all day about these bicycles and what's going to happen. So I'm going to let our producer Corey throw up some pictures, and you can tell us a little bit about what we're seeing from the past. Then we'll talk about the present. We got some pictures. What are we looking at?
This is just some outreaches that we've done over the city over the years, and that's one where we're just handing out little things a week or two before Christmas. Some of the young adults.
I noticed some Santa hats.
Yeah,
there,
Santa
so.
hats have Santa hats.
Is there outreaches like that planned this year? Or?
Yes, we've got 4 outreaches planned, and they're December the 19th. And that's a Saturday. There's their times there. It's 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Saturday, December 19th, and there's 4 locations.
So they're all going on at the same time?
All going on at the same time in Baker at the Baker Recreation Center, and Gardere Lane in South Baton Rouge at Ben Burge Park, in Mid-City there at the North Street Park, and out in Livingston Parish at Pards Lockhart Park on Lockhart Road.
Now we got some pictures to show of the bicycles here too, I understand, because that's,
Yes.
you know, it's bike giveaway. Boy, that's a lot of bicycles.
That's what we've done in the past, and we're going to do something very, very similar to that on the 19th of December.
Those bicycles we're looking at, who paid for those bicycles?
Businessmen
Okay.
and the church. That's a picture of me. Probably one of the happiest times of my life seeing a young little girl there on her bike that
She got to take home
that
with
she
her.
got to take home that day.
Now, what does one of these bicycles cost?
$50.
$50.
Yeah, and we go to a supplier that supplies them
Works
and
with us as
works
far as-
with us and assembles them for us.
Okay, and then so if a person wanted to buy one of these bicycles for a kid or help out, how do they do that?
Just go to Bethany.com or Bethany Church, and
And say, I want to donate
donate
$50, is that what it is?
$50.
Buys a bicycle.
Buys a bicycle, yes.
Boy, you can't beat that.
Yes.
Now, how many bicycles are you trying to give away this year?
We're gonna give away 100 bicycles,
Wow.
and that is our goal. Right now, we have a goal of through our business luncheon of raising $5,000.
Right.
We've raised to date $3,500.
Oh,
and
you're getting close.
we've already ordered the bicycles, and
We know we're going to get the goal.
we listen.
So they can come out to lunch,
Yes.
not this week because it's Thanksgiving, but
Yes.
next Wednesday.
Yes.
We'll have lunch at 12 o'clock, and that's
Yeah.
where's it located
It's
at?
a Bethany South Campus I said, where's Bethany South Campus? Well, you know where the big three crosses are on the interstate at Singer Lane? That's how we started saying, go to the crosses and go to the back.
Drive up the back of the field behind the crosses and you'll
Behind the
find
crosses.
all them guys sitting in there.
12 o'clock from 12 to 1, and we've got a bucket there, a bicycle bucket.
The bicycle bucket.
We got two bicycles, and so just drop whatever you like into that bucket. If you want to make a check, make it Bethany Church and put bicycles on the bottom, or cash, and men are love to do
How
that.
many years have you guys been doing this?
We've been doing it several years. Specifically, probably the last 5-6 years. Yes.
You know, any one memorable child that you remember? Just that
saw
little
it.
girl, huh?
You saw her right there.
What was her name?
You know, I didn't get her name. We were handing out so many bicycles, but at one year we had them parked right next to our South Campus,
Right.
and they just parents or the parent drove up, or they drove them up and put them in the vehicles for them, or they picked them out. But we find it better going out into the community,
So
like
those
these
four
parks.
locations.
And
Put those parks back up again so we can be sure people understand.
Yeah.
Those are the parks where the bicycles will be given away. Okay. So and the event is from 10 to 12.
It's from 10 to 12, and we will be giving away some other little goodies, if you will, for the children, and we'll have some snacks and games for the children. But basically, the giveaway is just the
They come for the bicycle.
for the bicycles. Yes,
They
yes.
come for the bicycles. We want to invite all you men out there that are looking for something that they seem to feel is missing in their life. You should definitely try out the men's luncheon. Like I said, Hank has explained it, but I mean, you're going to sit beside Catholics and Methodists and
Yes.
Baptists and Muslims and everybody. Everybody seems to show up at this trying to learn more about how to fulfill that need that we all have in trying to be a better man.
Yes.
And you guys also have some other programs. What was it, Men of Steel or Men of Iron, Iron Men? Don't you have some other things that you guys do throughout the year too?
Well, you know, Brother Larry wrote the book, The Model Man, and we teach that through the course over the years. We've done that. We have just constantly gone out into the neighborhood and outreaches, both men and ladies and young people, to over the years. So we're going to continue outreach in 2016 as we've done in past years, but this past year has just really been the year of outreach. We're calling this Saturday, December 19th, Operation Hope. So many people come to the holidays, especially Christmas holidays, I need hope, and they're getting that hope when you see a young child smile.
I think we have a world that is missing hope right now.
Yes, yes.
And our thoughts and prayers go out around the world to the people that have been affected by this mass terrorism
Yes.
going on. We haven't seen the end of it. I can promise you that. All of our world leaders are telling you that every day. Be vigilant. I do a lot of traveling in major cities, and I know Hank has been around a few places
Yes.
too. And you just have to be vigilant. You never know when you might be the person that stops the three, on the train. You never know. If you're not paying attention, things can happen to you so quickly in this world. And we have to be vigilant at everything, every turn that we do. What's your travel plans for the holidays? Do you have?
My travel plans is for my grandchildren and children that come in from out of town to us.
I have finally gotten to that point in my life too. They're traveling here for
That's
Thanksgiving.
exactly right. We all be under one roof.
Yep. Are you cooking the turkey?
Somebody will.
Not you, huh?
I'm the cleanup man.
You're not one of those deep oil guys in the
No.
backyard that blows up half the neighborhood.
My responsibility since I was a child is I love to clean the kitchen.
Clean the kitchen. Folks, we're out of time. I'm sorry, but we have to say goodbye to you. Hank, thanks a lot for being
Thank you,
on
Doc.
the show.
God bless you.
Until next time, remember, life is good, life is better if you believe in Christ. See you next time.